promiscuous makes an entrance. Buy this car to drive to work to pay for this car. Buy this car to drive to work.
Welcome to YellBRo. I am Jordan. This is James. And tonight we're going to basically bullshit and talk about Chuck Todd versus Bernie Sanders on Meet the Press. But first, please consider donating to Devon's Journey to Recovery. The link is in the description box, and the website is in the intro to this very video. Is that a knuckleballer?
Yes, sir.
He is a dirtbag, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, donate. Devon's Journey to Recovery. Link is down there. Description box. Alright, so this was in my recommended list for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
And we probably don't do enough Bernie Sanders videos. Not on a team, just saying I consider him a viable candidate until he disappoints me.
Yep.
Then I'll yell and scream. But for now, he's alright. He's even talking more about foreign policy. Granted, it leans too much towards things that make him look good rather than just going after it. Like, I don't even think Tulsi goes far enough.
No.
But she steps out in avenues where it's not so popular to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
And I wish Bernie would do that more. Maybe he's waiting for the debate stage.
Maybe.
Maybe he's waiting, like, they'll never let me get elected if I say this. Maybe he's waiting to win an election, whatever. Or lose an election, where he's just like, fuck it. I'm starting my own party, and this is what I'm going to say. Steven Crowder is a horrible political analyst.
Or
He's trash.
Steven Crowder is a hoe. That's right. I said it. I meant it.
So this is Meet the Press, not too long. I think it was like a week ago. Yeah, Sundays. I think they do their show. So last Sunday, Bernie sat down and talked to Chuck Todd. And this is the portion where they talk about Medicare for all. Here we go. Hopefully we don't get banned for playing this.
I hope not.
Well, I want to focus a second on Medicare for all. Michael Bennet, another candidate for president, believed that the lesson of 2018 was not Medicare for all, but fix Obamacare. I would like you to take a listen to what he said to me earlier this year about that.
What time is the main show?
Now what Democrats are saying is, if you like your insurance, we're going to take it away from you. From 180 million people that get their insurance from their employer and like it. Or 20 million Americans who are on Medicare Advantage and love it. That seems like a bad opening offer for me.
And Senator.
So, I believe I already know Bernie's response to that. It's that, with employer-based insurance, from what I understand, those guys like re-up every year with different insurance companies. So your coverage is sort of changing every year because it's cheaper to do that. So people who are in love with their employee-based insurance probably work for the government and get government health care. Everyone else, fuck you. But also, I think Medicare for all would just cover everyone straight up. Where it's like, you don't got to worry about it. But I'll let Bernie explain because he'll do a better job than me.
Senator, I'm well aware that you believe that, look, you were in favor of Obamacare, but it was not your first choice, and I know that. But as you know, there's a lot of voters who voted for Democrats in 2018 to fix Obamacare first, then look at okay, should it be something different? Are you obligated to fix Obamacare first?
Well, we're obligated to make sure that Trump and the Republicans do not throw tens of millions of people off the health care that they currently are enjoying. But here's the point. The point is the current health care system is absolutely dysfunctional. You got 34 million without any health insurance, even more who are underinsured. Elderly people can't afford dental care, hearing aids, eyeglasses. And for all of that, Chuck, we managed to spend twice as much money per capita on health care as do the people of any other country, and we pay the highest prices in the world for prescription drugs. Now, I know that the healthcare industry, the drug companies, the insurance companies will spend hundreds of millions of dollars, including ads on NBC, attacking Bernie Sanders, attacking Medicare for all. But you know what? You look at the polling. The people support Medicare very, very strongly.
Yeah.
And all we are saying is you got a good program in Medicare, expand it to everybody else, improve Medicare for senior citizens. And when we do that, we're going to provide comprehensive care to all people, and we're going to do it by saving substantial sums of money.
So you're already taking shots at NBC. Probably because he gets smeared by them and they treat him unfairly. I don't know about you, but I see a lot more of like another candidate like Bernie Sanders. I see a lot more of Tulsi Gabbard on Fox News than I do on these other stations.
Based off what I see in my feed, yeah.
And she usually gets more of a fair shake there, except for that one interview I saw. I forgot the guy that was interviewing.
Yeah, I don't remember his name.
It was pretty bad, that one. Yeah. Makes sense to me. Healthcare, across the board. You already have the program. Just fucking expand it to everyone else. It makes more sense than people scrambling to get healthcare or people just not getting healthcare at all. Like Mr. Anomaly. But what if I don't want it? Then don't fucking go to the doctors, man. Jesus Christ.
Bro, individual mandate, bro.
I know.
That was called?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Yeah. He's one of those guys that uses the word leftist way too much. It bothers me. Here we go.
Dysfunctional healthcare
Under
system.
your plan, we're eliminating private insurance, correct?
We are going to provide comprehensive health care to all people, and what you're going to have is private insurance if people want it for supplementary type benefits, cosmetics and so forth.
But
Cosmetics.
everybody has the same baseline government health care insurance under your plan.
Do you hear Chuck Todd complaining about, well, what if I'm filthy rich? Shouldn't I have better health care? Like, yeah, the rest will have better, but can't I have better health care?
It's like, fuck you, man.
That's what a lot of these guys are complaining about. You have to wait online. There's going to be lines. It's like, fuck you.
Yeah. It's like,
Suck it up for a while so everyone's covered.
Yeah, it's like,
Dipshit.
oh man, my appendix just burst, but I can't afford shit.
Yeah.
You have a bone spur. You'll live.
Yeah.
I'm gonna die if I don't fucking take care of this.
Fucking running like Charlie Kirk. He it looked like a phony injury or something. And he takes a picture of himself on a bench outside.
Ah, that's right. Yeah. It's like, fucking creep.
Somebody slap him and his parents.
Ooh.
Let's continue.
Government health care is what Medicare is right now.
Right.
And if you look at the polling, Medicare is far more popular than private health insurance. People like Medicare. We have to expand it to cover every man, woman, and child over a 4-year period.
What do you...
I believe it was 60+% of the country wants, at least the ones that were polled. I don't like polls too much, but if I had to guess, if people really understood, I think they pick Medicare for all. It just makes sense on a moral level and on a systematic level. These people, they know about the fucking their employers and the health plans and changing out every fucking year to find the cheapest one or whatever. They also know about getting stuck at a job to where you can't leave if you have a medical issue. Like if you want to pursue something in life or advance in life, you can't, because if you leave that company, you're out of healthcare and you have something that needs repetitive help.
Yeah.
It needs constant help.
Yeah.
Like the guy we talked about who has diabetes or something where you constantly need to update or constantly need to have prescriptions fulfilled. Right?
Yeah.
I need this medicine every so often. And if I get off insurance, I can't just do that. I can't just pay for it out of pocket.
No, you need consistent treatment.
That's a lot of fucking money. All right, let's continue.
you say to the people worried about the disruption? As you know, everybody hates their health care until you try to disrupt them of their current system.
You tell them to suck it up. Stop being pussies. Suck it up. Jesus Christ.
But I want to have it faster. Who said that?
Yeah.
Get my belt. Creeps, dude.
I'm sure Bernie has a transition plan for this. It's not just, okay, you're going to stay off until I get it passed in Congress. It's like, I think there's a transition period. Not a, neoliberal
Yeah.
one, which is, we'll just get public option and then wait and wait and wait. Someday Medicare for all will be here. Here we go.
Well, I'm not so sure about that, but what I do know,
As you know,
every man, woman, and child over a 4-year period.
what do you say to the people worried about the disruption? As you know, everybody hates their health care until you try to disrupt them of their current system.
Well, I'm not so sure about that, but what I do know is that there's massive disruption. One of the problems with the healthcare system right now is if your employer, Chuck, decides to get another insurance company, you'll be losing the doctor you currently go to, have to pay a lot more to get it. Every time somebody loses their job, every time some employer changes health insurance policy, there is disruption. That impacts tens of millions of people. When you have Medicare for all, you will finally have stability. Everybody in the country will have comprehensive health care covering all basic health care needs. We will save taxpayers, we will save the citizens of this country on health care substantial sums of money.
All right.
So people will be able to go to the doctors they've been going to.
I would hope so.
I would think so. The only problem is on the doctor's end. Because if you have, let's say I have Medicare for all, now I can go to this doctor. And this doctor gets quote unquote overwhelmed, and then they're like, I can't take any more of these patients. I can't do it this way anymore. Or something like that.
Have a higher demand for a doctor. Meaning, right? Instead of one doctor and God knows how many people. Hey, we're trying to get more doctors here.
Call Cuba.
There you go. Or where was it? Welterweight champion?
Oh,
Kamaru Usman? No.
yeah.
Yeah.
Kamaru
Usman. Yeah. It ain't Haiti, I know that.
No, it's not Haiti. It's
No.
West African.
West Africa.
I forgot the fucking name.
Get the point.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think one of the complaints is, one of the ideas out there is less people are becoming doctors or something like that. So you're going to have more demand. And I consider that as something. That
You know
could
what? Maybe you should be a doctor for a different reason then. I mean, maybe you should do something else if you don't want to like fucking help people.
Well, I'm saying there could be some roadblocks there because of we don't know how people will react to such things.
I don't know.
Are people going to like get paper cuts and start running to the emergency room because it's free? Fuck it, free. Yeah.
Oh, then here's the thing. There's what do you call it? Urgent care?
Yeah, there should be like smaller clinics and shit like that.
Yeah, then there's like, hey, oh, you hurt your shoulder. All right, you're gonna live.
And then
you can wait.
Yeah.
Oh, you
That's already the case though. I just think.
Gotcha.
Are people going to start piling up in these different places?
I think it'll settle. Trust.
I think it would settle too.
Like, oh, you're spitting up blood this way. This way.
You see, I'm a crazy motherfucker, so I'm like, if no one's or if some people aren't covered, then none of us are. Fuck it. Either we're all covered or we're all not. Find some way. Hey, Maddie. Maddie says, reminds me of that story of a man who received a $153,000 hospital bill for a snake bite.
Fuck you.
It's like, here's for your treatment.
Fucking creeps, man.
Okay, $50,000 for the treatment
No,
and 100,000 for the antidote. Your choice. Like you get a pick between administer the antidote on your own, or or we bandage you up and not give you the antidote.
All right, it's like X-ray, or we can play blindfold and dart throwing. Spin the wheel. We take a guess on what's wrong with you. Ready?
We filled this room with needles and antidotes. If you happen to slip and fall into that room and land on the antidote, hey. Matt says, I'd just die than pay for that shit. That bullshit. Yeah, fucking prescription pills and all that. And like the drugs, I think, are probably one of the biggest things. Right? Because it's like, what did I hear before? Like $7,000 for just one of the pills. And then you have a whole fucking, you know, canister of them. Fuck. All right, let's continue with Mr. Sanders and Chuck Todd.
All right, I want to ask you about the big news in the state legislatures this week and, frankly, this year on the issue of abortion. Simply this.
I guess they're moving on to abortion. Oh. Someone was shitting on Chuck Todd for this. I forgot what it was.
Possibly rightfully so.
Yeah. Maybe I'll skip through to foreign policy. Or just let it play. Whatever. 14-minute video. Yeah, screw it. All right, here we go.
Will you have a litmus test for judges on Roe? It's pretty clear in 2020, no matter which side of the abortion issue we're on, it is going to be on the ballot, the issue of Supreme Court justices. Do you believe in that Roe litmus test?
Look, I believe what they did in Alabama is unbelievable. Other states are doing it. The idea that women in this country should not be able to control their own bodies is beyond belief. They have that constitutional right. So if you're asking me, would I ever appoint a Supreme Court justice who does not believe in defending Roe versus Wade, who does not believe that a woman has a right to control her own body, I will never do that.
Is there any what are the do you believe there should be any?
Choice will be needed. It will be needed.
No. Bring that box named choice. It will be needed.
Choice is needed, ladies and gentlemen. It is needed.
Restrictions on abortion in law?
I think that is a decision that is being made, that should be made by the woman and her physician. And I think many of, what people are doing is sadly is creating a political issue out of a medical issue. So the decision about women should be able to control their own body, and those decisions are made by a doctor and the woman.
Are you at all concerned, though, about this idea that people may try to worry about the sex of a child, or essentially look at that?
I mean, that's a concern.
So are those type of restrictions on abortion something you're open to?
Well, that's not I wouldn't use it a restriction on that. That's an issue that society has got to deal with, and it is of concern.
How would you deal with that in the law?
I don't know how at this particular point I would deal with it, but that is an issue that we really have got to deal with.
Do they mean finding the gender out, or finding out the... I'm going to fucking listen to that again.
Try to worry about the sex of a child, or this idea...
Made by a doctor and the woman.
Are you at all concerned, though, about this idea that people may try to worry about the sex of a child, or essentially look at that?
I mean, that's a concern.
Are those type of restrictions on abortion...
Okay, so he's talking about, I wanted a boy, but it was the mom's pregnant with a girl, and then they go through an abortion. Like, that's fucking gross.
Yeah. Fucking creeps.
Bernie won't say it. I'll say it. That's fucking trash.
Yeah.
It's like, what? It's some fucking dad, Little League dreams, his Major League Baseball dreams, just...
Oh, you see, you stop that
Horrible
by telling
knee
them
injury.
there's people who, listen, you can just give her testosterone. It'll be fine. I'm just kidding.
If that's what they're talking about, because I could be confused. But if, I don't know, if that's the case, it's like, Isn't that an argument for eugenics, basically?
Yeah.
Eliminate the girls.
Press
boys.
the green button for boy.
Are we fucking China now? Yeah, it's a little weird. Let's continue now.
Something you're open to.
Well, that's not a. I wouldn't use it a restriction on that. That's an issue that society has got to deal with, and it is of concern.
How would you deal with that in the law?
I don't know how at this particular point I would deal with it, but that is an issue that we really have got to deal with.
All right, I want to move to some foreign policy. There's New York Times spent a lot of time.
If you don't know and you're new here, foreign policy is my most important issue because you'll never truly fix things here if you're bombing children in other countries or people in other countries, which might as well call them children as well.
Might as well.
But if you're killing people in other countries, you're never gonna fix shit here. I believe it has a ripple effect. But let's hear some of Bernie Sanders' ideas when it comes to foreign policy, or whatever issue Chuck Todd brings up. Chuck Todd.
Talking about your trips to Central America. I know you got pretty worked up about those things. I think the larger question, and let me just frame the question this way. The larger question is going to be, if you're the nominee, whether you like it or not, the right's going to basically hammer and sickle you to death. How do you prevent it?
Well, I don't mind the right wing doing it, but I understand they will do it. I don't want the media to do it.
We'll see.
Look, when I was a young man, I plead guilty. I voted, I worked hard as a young man against the war in Vietnam. I don't apologize for that. As a member of the United States House, I helped lead the effort against the war in Iraq, which turns out to have been the worst foreign policy blunder in the modern history of the United States.
Except for that first Iraq war, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
Right. Ryan Dawson points that out, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Well, something that should be pointed out.
Desert Storm.
Yeah.
Also something with Ukraine. I'm too ignorant on this. Check out Ryan Dawson instead.
As long as it's out there, it's worth looking into.
But I also leave room for, bless you. I also leave room for people changing. And I definitely believe Bernie's an honest guy. It's just, he plays politics too. All these guys do. All right, so let's continue.
As the United States Senator, I led the effort to pass a bipartisan resolution to get America out of the war in Yemen.
That Trump vetoed because he's all about making America great again. He's anti-military industrial complex. He hired John Bolton and Mike Pompeo by accident. It was just he spelled someone's name wrong and it happened to be them somehow. Venezuela just screwed up there. These things happen.
Yeah, of course.
Just by accident. His hand, he slipped and just signed some papers.
He might have maybe he was watching like a Dodgers game and then they blew it.
Yeah.
And then he just in a fit of rage, he just slipped and fell on his shoelace. And then he had a pen in his hand. He just went on a piece of paper.
Right. He's just following through with his campaign promises. I don't want to fight. I want them to do it for me. He just pointed to Saudi Arabia.
I see.
Just starving kids. No big deal. All right, here we go.
Led by Saudi Arabia, and I got to tell you something, Chuck. I hope you guys pay attention to Yemen. What's going on in Yemen now is the worst.
They won't, Bernie. They'll cover it here and there, but the whole Russia story is much more important, right?
Humanitarian disaster in the world. We're talking about hundreds of thousands of people, children dying, and I'm doing my best to get the U.S. out of that war. And if Trump wants to go to war in Iran, that will make the war in Iraq look like a cakewalk. It will make it so we've got to do everything we can to stop that. If people want to attack me because I think that war should be the last resort, you can attack me. But I have seen too much horror. I was the chairman of the Senate Committee on Veterans Affairs. I talked to too many veterans whose lives were destroyed by the war in Iraq. I will do everything I can to see problems solved diplomatically rather than through war.
That's going to get you smeared, Bernie. You can't say shit like that out loud. Do you know where you're at, Bernie? You're on fucking NBC. You're on NBC.
Why do you think this is, Bernie?
Be
Come
careful.
on.
Do you see that peacock tail? You know where you're at?
Do you know?
NBC will peacock all fucking over you, man.
How can you possibly think you can get away with this? What are you, empiricist?
Yeah, shit like that, it gets people smeared. Not to mention the Medicare for all stuff gets people smeared. Usually from the right, though. That's usually from Trump guys. You know, socialism is evil. Just look at Venezuela.
Right.
And, you know, there's a whole story there that they ignore. Let's continue.
A couple of questions on I'm curious, on the issue of the U.S. Embassy in Jerusalem, would you move it back out of Jerusalem if you thought it was a way to get a peace deal?
Yeah, I think it's something that we should. I can't give you a definitive answer, but the answer is, look, whether it is Iran and Saudi Arabia, whether it is Israel and the Palestinians, the United States needs to bring people together, needs an even-handed policy.
It's going to get you smeared, Bernie. You're supposed to play one side off against the other.
Come on.
Who's advising this fucking guy? Who's advising this Bernie Sanders guy?
Can't be some sort of moral conscience or anything like that, you know.
They need to pull him aside, say, listen, we need to fund one side and play it off against the other side. You know, that's how you get shit done. Fuck.
Bury everything that makes you human. You know what I mean?
Now, in a serious tone here, the embassy thing. Now, me personally, I look at it as, okay, let's get people talking to each other, something peaceful, and who gives a fuck where the fucking embassy is. You guys should be able to cross borders like your, I don't know, like best friend, like neighbors or something. Best friend neighbors. To where it's like simple paperwork, I'm on the other side, I'm visiting the embassy now. Or whatever. Or put it on the fucking borderline. I don't give a shit. That stuff is more important to these guys with their, you know. I'd say it's a lot of religion things going on there.
Could be.
I think it is.
Could be.
I think that's why, you know, Israel wanted that. A lot of religious shit going on there. I think to the Palestinians, it was a symbol of, okay, I see what it is. I see what you guys are up to. And I think they all consider the areas sacred to some degree. But, you know, children will do what children do. Just fucking fight it out in words, man. Fucking shooting at each other.
Words? You mean weaponized? Weaponized.
Weaponized optical rebound drivers.
No, drones. Drone strikes.
All right.
Jordan from YellBRo advocates for war and death and destruction of children. It's his fault. Get him.
Let's continue.
In Saudi Arabia, for example, for decades, we have supported a murderous regime which fights democracy every single day. So I want an even-handed policy which brings people together, which eases...
Would you move the embassy now out of Jerusalem, or...
So that's interesting. Even-handed policy. So maybe that doesn't mean, you know, $38 billion to Israel and, you know, a couple loaves of bread for Palestine. Because they're a terrorist organization. The entire state is a terrorist organization.
They can't be trusted.
They live in sewers while we build settlements. Yeah. Bernie is anti-BDS, if I'm correct. I disagree with that. You should be able to boycott. You know,
Whatever you want.
If you feel someone's a creeper, fucking boycott them.
Yeah.
Or pull your money out of the country, or whatever. I don't see anything wrong with that. It actually seems like a healthy way to protest.
Yeah.
Rather than just shoot them.
Yeah.
Or sanction them, like block them from getting things. That's different. But let's continue.
Or would you keep it
Look,
there,
Chuck,
for
that is, we'll take that one step at a time. It's something, you know, bottom line is we need to be we are the most powerful country on earth. Let's bring people together and try to bring peace.
And a final question on the foreign policy front.
Yeah.
You point out humanitarian problems all the time. How would you deal with China and the Uyghurs, the Muslims that they're, I guess they call it re-educating? How do you hold China accountable for that without wrecking the economy?
Well,
Yeah,
He just gets the toughest questions
Yeah,
of all time.
I can see it now.
We have Mayor Pete here. What's your favorite
Color.
What's your favorite topping for a hot dog?
Sauerkraut. And thank you. Thank you.
Thanks for joining me, Mayor Pete. Good luck.
Always a pleasure. And here is that $50,000 TV that you wanted. Thank you. Good luck.
Here. I know you're gonna see her later. Can you take my soul with you? Just hand it off to Neratandon. I heard you guys are gonna be meeting up later.
Sure. No problem.
All right, I'll do it while we carve out. We carve out sections of the world we're gonna take over. Just kidding.
It's like, Chuck, Todd. What do you call it? Actively trying to make the world a worse place? Dun, dun. That one segment, it's called Children's Blood and Soul Gone. Every Friday night.
Brutal.
Remember that?
Totally
It's
brutal.
11 o'clock. It's 10 o'clock. Do you know who your children are? Chuck Todd knows. They're dead.
Fuck. All right, let's hear Bernie's response to the Uyghurs. Yeah, I'm ignorant on that topic.
Let's hear
I
it.
should probably look into it. Here we go.
I don't think you have to wreck the economy to tell China that you cannot have, I guess it's the equivalent of almost concentration camps. Look, the United States, and very sadly,
China
under
gives
Donald
zero
Trump,
fucks
we have moved in exactly the wrong
their own
way.
fucking
He
citizens.
supports authoritarian governments
Bruce Lee was
all
here.
over the world. I believe we have to support democracy and human rights. So I think China is an important partner. I think we have to deal with trade issues. But I think it should be known that we cannot allow, we have to stand up and oppose
Right.
governments that are doing terrible things to minorities.
Is there
in their own countries.
is humanitarian reasons a reason to use military force? That's what we did
Chuck,
in Kosovo and Bosnia.
Well, I mean, it depends. Obviously, you have to look at case by case. If you're talking about the need to prevent genocide, yeah, I guess so. But obviously, every situation is different.
Do you see how the guy doesn't want to? Like he's like, I don't know. I guess like he doesn't really want to be in that lane at all. Some guys are just like, to protect American freedom, of course I'll bomb them. Or Trump, bomb the shit out of them.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck. I bet you can negotiate away. They just drop their weapons and leave.
Yeah.
Like, who's paying you, mercenaries? I'll pay you more. Just leave.
I'll pay you more. Just leave.
Drop your weapons and leave. And we want photo ID so we know if you come back or whatever. I don't know. I'm just making shit up.
I feel threatened. I'm picking up trash. Put down your weapon.
Senator Bernie Sanders, we got to a lot. I always wish we can get to more, and I hope we see you more often than we have in the last year. Thanks for being on. And
Bernie's like, fuck you.
All right, so, tough questions, pushback, something you expect with Bernie Sanders. And then if you take Tulsi Gabbard, just expect a little more, I would say.
Yeah.
With these type of guys.
Don't expect much from Chuck Todd.
Guys who will push a narrative that won't hurt them at all.
Oh no.
Actually, it would probably line their pockets.
Sure. You think Chuck Todd cares?
I don't know.
I would doubt it.
There's plenty of guys like that where it's like, it won't reach my front door, so.
I know. As long as it doesn't hurt me. It's like, wow, fuck you, man.
And they're all over, man. They're all over the political spectrum.
I'm sure.
And those types, I don't even consider them on the political spectrum. I don't consider corruption on a political spectrum, because that's not what it was supposed to be about. At least in my mind, right?
Yeah.
It's not about using talking points to get some sort of agenda done. It's about you honestly believe this is the way things should go.
Yeah.
So if you're corrupt, you're not even on the fucking spectrum.
No, you're a pretender.
That's why I don't like these guys that go, the leftist.
Yeah, tell me, what's a leftist? Tell me. Try. It's like when I ask the guy, it's like, it's communism. What is it? Tell me. Give me some bullshit. That's not communism.
I critiqued Barack Obama, and then I said, look at Obama's health care plan. Like, why does this seem similar to something like Mitt Romney would say? And then they're like, what makes you think Mitt Romney isn't a leftist? I'm like, now your whole thing's fucked up now.
Yeah.
Or do you just mean anything bad is leftist?
Yes.
Thus, it's like, shut up and stop saying that.
Yeah.
Stop
Yeah.
it.
It's like, George Soros is a leftist. What does that mean? I don't know.
Yeah.
Ooh.
What happened? Ooh.
All right, well.
Because
I'm next. No Soul Owens is up next now.
All right, I can skip through to... And too far.
You took it too far. You know damn well what you did.
All right.
It doesn't feel right.
So we're going to watch something silly because we're bored.
There's also that wrestling that's on here right now.
Very possible.
But right now, old man needs to hit a home run.
Show you how we did it back in the day. Yeah.
No, it's
He wheezes when he's...
no. He wheezes on everything else. But when he takes a swing, he's like, what the fuck?
All right, so this next video is just for guilty pleasure. And I don't know, just to look at it. It's interesting. It's going to be on the Ingram Angle. Is that the name of her show? Laura Ingram. And her guests are going to be Cornel West and Candace Owens.
I wonder how this is going to go.
Now, just so you know, just somewhere in the back of my mind, I'm like, Candace Owens could be a psychopath or a sociopath.
Yeah.
And some of the looks I see in this video, these are just aesthetic views I see, just the way she looks or, But Cornel West, I used to listen to back in the day, listen to full lectures that he's done.
The actor from The Matrix?
Yes.
Oh.
From The Matrix. He was on like the main council of the free folk. All right, let's watch this video. Here we go.
Now, we hear those lines all the time, but here are the facts. Since President Trump took office, black unemployment has hit an historic low and currently sits at about 6.7%. And by the way, he's not...
Are they counting people who are not? Yeah, I know. Are they counting people who are not looking for jobs?
Nope.
I don't know. I'm not an expert.
satisfied with that. He wants it a lot lower, but still pretty great. The number of African Americans employed is up more than 4%, and the most stunning of all, African American wages, this is my favorite, are up more than 9%. Here now in a truly special debate, I'm so happy about this. Candace Owens, Brexit movement founder and conservative commentator, and Cornel West, professor of philosophy at Harvard University and professor emeritus at Princeton.
Harvard. But you see, he forgot to smile on cue.
Yeah.
Ugh. Christ.
Yeah, a little weird topic. I don't like that at all. Focusing on race as
Such
when
a
you're talking
shallow
about,
topic, man.
yeah,
There's bigger fucking things going on.
black employment. How about, I don't know.
How about corruption? Let's talk about that.
Yeah, let's hear the happiness index. Let's measure happiness. Anyways, there we go.
It's gone.
Dr. West, I also want to tell you, I really appreciate your coming on the show. You're an old style liberal. I don't mean old and old. I mean, but you like debate and conversation, and I think that's just awesome. So thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Thank you for having me on.
Absolutely. And I want to begin with a simple question, Dr. West. Are the president's policies, let's just focus now on his economic policies, are they helping the African-American community in your view?
No, I think that the statistics certainly look good through a narrow lens, so I give him credit in that regard. But we have to keep in mind that on the one hand, you still have grotesque wealth inequality, you have job insecurity, so many people who are working more than one job. We know many people who have withdrawn from the labor force are not counted at all. But I think the problem is, though, my dear sister,
Real quick, also, what is this saying about wanting, more jobs and more hours of labor? Unless we think that's the extent of human,
it's all we're good
experience.
For. Yeah, that's it.
I don't know. I would have thought people would want more at some point. Maybe 100 years from now. And you realize, shit, there was stuff to think about.
Well, listen,
Even outside of politics, like things to just think about in general.
I don't want anybody to be on their physical deathbed and it's like, oh, I wasted so many years. What does it all mean?
Now you're gonna shut up and you're gonna get a job and you're gonna do.
Guys,
you're gonna
look,
stay
no.
away for 40 years like I did.
You should be more happy. You guys should be
your
more.
kids are gonna do the same.
You guys should be more happy, guys.
Yeah.
More happiness all around. Look, more jobs.
Just
coal mines. Amazon.
I mean, really, just look at it, right? It's jobs.
Mm-hmm.
Jobs are tied to survival. Survival tied to living. Look at that. You have a job to feed yourself and to house yourself and to house your family and all that.
Yeah.
So that's the survival. But why do you survive? I survive in order to exist, in order to experience stuff. So you're working.
Oh, for me, it's to be myself on both sides of the spectrum.
Well, to experience things and express things. Both, I would say, experience and express.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, but it turns into our starting out theme song. Like you're buying the car to drive to work. You're going to work to pay for the car.
Yeah.
And it's like, where's the living come at?
It's not there.
Right? It's like a vicious cycle. I'm living to work to survive, to live.
It's
kind
of like
to survive.
I don't remember what movie I don't remember what movie it was from, but it's like, no, listen, like you give them a little bit, not too much. That way they have to come back.
Yeah. Can you imagine the vacations people would take?
Yeah.
If Bezos took a chunk out of his billions of dollars and gave it to the workers, it's like, fuck, I could retire early.
He'd be a hero.
Like, let me take 1 billion instead of, I don't know, 100 and something billion.
Yeah.
Or 200 billion. Fuck. But usually, guys, I think CEOs take pay cuts in order to expand the company rather than pay the workers more. Meanwhile, if those workers left, there is no company there. It's like, oh, sorry. We haven't figured out AI doing everything for you yet. And it's like,
well, that'll be interesting.
What'll happen if that happens? All right, so let's watch Cornel West shush the crowd. See that?
He shushed me. Pause.
Is that the president has a language that creates an atmosphere that is so xenophobic against black folk, Mexicans, Muslims. He rarely wants to stay in contact with their humanity. So when you look at the statistics, that's one thing. But when you create an atmosphere and an ambience of xenophobia, it reinforces the polarization, and therefore many black folk wouldn't even be able to connect the statistics that look good with the language, the atmosphere that feels so bad. And that cold-hearted, mean-spiritedness is something that cuts very, very deep in the spirit of people.
Have you?
All right. So I believe the dog whistling aspect has been called out, but I don't think it's because he's racist at all.
No, I think he's
votes.
pandering towards a group of people, definitely.
Yeah, votes.
But he's not racist. I think he's just a creepy businessman.
Yeah.
Like a lot of these guys. Oh, you think he's racist? I'm like, no, I think he's taking advantage of people, and I think he's pandering to a crowd, but he's not saying it completely that way because it'd expose him. That way, he can always go, oh, I didn't say that. It's clever.
It gets the
but
attention.
It's been done before.
It gets the attention of both sides of the topic.
Have you met him?
Also, it's a technique of fear-mongering, so.
Yeah.
But, don't talk about that.
Be afraid of the immigrants, but don't pay attention to what I'm doing in Venezuela and South America.
Yeah.
Don't pay attention to that.
Dr. West ever met the president?
No, I've never had a conversation with my right wing brother. I mean, I've called him a gangster and a proto-fascist in terms of separation of power, but he's a human being.
I believe he did that with Obama as well.
You see.
Very disappointed in him.
Mm-hmm.
He's a human being, and I could,
No, I'm just saying this because look, you and I don't agree on
so many
a
times
lot,
she
but I
interrupts
actually really
him.
like you. I just like the fact that you're out there and you're advocating. I have no problem with it, and I wouldn't call you mean-spirited. We disagree, but I think if you actually were with the president, you might find that you could accomplish a lot together and you could do a lot together. I really believe that. He'll work with pretty much anybody,
including the military-industrial complex.
He'll work for pretty much anybody. Like Chelsea Manning, right? Uh-oh.
If Jesus came back, Trump would shit his pants.
A lot of people would shit their pants.
He'd be like, oh, fuck.
And that's what I found in my experience. So I'm just throwing that out there, Candace. But there is this tonality issue that people.
Sorry, I gotta go back.
But there is this tonality issue that people seize on with the president, and they always go back to Charlottesville. They always go back to this S-hole countries. Those are the two things they really seize upon, the travel ban. Those three things probably, for some, just wipe out any other accomplishment. Your reaction?
It's the killing kids thing that wipes out any accomplishment for me.
Oh, having anybody
these aren't
creating an atmosphere for suffering is what immediately like nope.
Creating jobs and making numbers on a screen go up they don't carry over.
Like literally, it should be like land. Hey guys, if you want to be robots, go live over here.
Yeah, those things don't cover for dead children. Sorry.
I think the president is doing something different. Definitely, his tone is different because he tells the truth and he doesn't pander.
Ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha.
You see, if I was there, I'd ask her, okay, what's the truth? Tell me.
I'd go, you don't even have to go that far. You go straight up on the surface shit. It's like, why do you carry water for this motherfucker? You're a water boy, basically. You're trying to get in the game. You're trying your best.
Seems like it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
To Black America. He hasn't offered us hot sauce. He's offered us jobs. That makes many people uncomfortable because they're from an era where race hustling is a business. They're used to telling Black Americans that they're...
That's what you're doing. It's literally what you're doing.
Yeah.
To get people to vote Republican.
Black conservatives. That's you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Black conservatives of Trump's America.
Blexit.
Right? That's what it's called?
Blexit. Yeah.
It's like, you fucking hypocrite.
Super hypocrite. And once again, I'll say it again. I think she's borderline psychopathic. She's somewhere in the area.
It's intuitive. Let's keep going.
That's what it looks like.
They're victims writing books about victimhood, and that is no longer selling in America. And I just wanted to comment back on saying that xenophobia is something that Black Americans are afraid of. Xenophobia means that you have a fear, Mr. West, of foreigners. Black Americans are not foreigners in this country. We are a piece of the American dream. We've earned a piece of this American dream, and we're getting tired of people telling us that we are somehow separate of it.
She's a fucking Stepford wife. How do you leave one political party and then just become completely indoctrinated by the next one? Like, these are talking.
I originally
the
thought
American dream. The American dream. Like, what do you think about foreign policy? That's not my area. Well, maybe it should be. That's what I think she'd say.
Yeah, because if you're saying if Trump tells the truth, oh, does he? You can't just say that.
The chemical weapons.
You can't just say, oh, he tells the truth.
The babies, the beautiful babies.
Like now we're gonna fucking ignore a whole other fucking part of the, like, you know, what consists of Trump.
Yeah. It's quite. I don't know.
I'm just disappointed.
I'm like, are you a psycho? I hope there's something I could say that would make you like, ooh, that hurts, or I feel shame about our guilt. I hope she wouldn't just deflect it off and then be like, well, blah 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 blah. The leftists do this and blah blah blah. Like that shit. That's psychopathic to me. I don't know. Let's continue.
I mean, that's really what I have to say. We're doing tremendous under this presidency.
Tremendous,
there was no
those are
candidate
his
that's
fucking
offering
words.
anything on the left to counter what
parody.
Trump has offered. They're just offering more rhetoric, more fear-mongering, and unfortunately, time is up on this narrative. We are ready to move on and embrace our futures.
Well, Dr. Spencer,
No,
go ahead.
if I can come straight, I mean, first, xenophobia in the generic sense means the fear of other. And black folk have been
it
other,
doesn't.
enslaved, Jim Crow, Jane Crow, and so
foreigners.
forth. So if
Well,
you
he
want
must-
to, the
yeah,
narrow
he's a
understanding is
terrible
just
xenophobe.
foreigner, but
Pause it?
it's the
Yeah.
other.
All right, so it's like,
No man with the library behind him. It means foreigner.
we're gonna interrupt you, that way you can't say what you want, and it's basically double teaming.
Yeah.
Those who have been otherized, those who have been marginalized in this sense. But think of when you call my dear sister Maxine Waters low IQ.
She does have a low IQ.
That's vicious.
That's
When
a
you talk-
fact.
You
That
said
is a
what?
fact. That
You
is a
said-
fact. If she took an IQ exam, you would find out that Maxine Waters had a very low IQ.
That's
a fact.
psychopathic. That's psychopathic.
Yeah.
That's the dog whistling talking points.
Yeah.
Go check our videos on IQ.
Mm-hmm.
And
That's a fact. If she took an IQ test, she would score low. Like, the fucking butchering of words and their meaning
yeah.
is like, okay, that's another fucking sign she doesn't know what the fuck she's talking about, especially. So it's like, either she just becomes a psychopath and she plays a character whenever she's on the screen, she has some sort of agenda, or she's just straight up a sociopath.
I think I say Crowder, his character he plays is a fucking psycho.
Yeah.
I think this carries over when she's off screen.
Gotcha.
To some degree.
Could be.
Maybe in quiet moments, something real happens, but other than that, it's just,
I could believe it, man.
This is very weird.
Well,
She does have low IQ. It's a fact. She does have low IQ.
The things I see is a little. I
You're
would
a
say
little
you could
twerp
say
in the front of the
tendencies.
class.
The tendencies I see are a little telling, and then when you tend to think on it, you know, what could possibly be as far as, like, you know, who Candace Owens really is, then it's like, well, this is disturbing. What?
You know who she really is? She's Reese Witherspoon in that film Election.
Reese Witherspoon.
I'll play that for you later. I don't know if I could play it on here and get fucking banned.
Hey, dude, I'm not trying to be banned for another 6 months.
Well, it won't be this time.
They'd find a way to do it to us.
It's 3 months, by
You
the
know,
way.
no, they do it for 6 months.
We've had it done twice, so that would make it 6 months.
Nah, bro, they'd make it 12 now. Telling you.
Stop moving the goalpost.
Not moving a goalpost. They'd ban us from the field for another 12 months. You'll see. There'll be a sign you can't come in. Fuck.
So I can see like a slight smirk on Cornel West's face, as in like, fuck, this person's. I can't say that.
All right.
Yes, sir. All right, let's continue.
And I will
She
push
is
that
a
challenge.
brilliant.
It may not
she's
be
a
nice,
brilliant
but it is
human being.
truth.
Okay.
When he calls Brother Collins a son of a bitch, you see this
Yeah,
kind of
I've never used
language
that language.
is ridiculous.
I have never used that language.
Not you. I don't
No, I'm talking about the.
Fucking psychopath.
Yeah.
I never used that. I never said that.
You know, the first time I noticed this when
Never said that.
she was on
Reese Witherspoon Election. Go watch that movie,
when
folks.
Candace Owens
Matthew Broderick's in that movie. too.
when Candace Owens was on Russell
Brand.
Yeah, I'm like, why does this seem weird?
Yeah, we did a video
Rand
on
is
that, too.
too nice to notice this shit.
Well, see, guys like Russell Brand and guys like Cornel West, they're trying to find the best in everyone. And they want everyone welcome to the table and all that shit. I'm saying.
Well, I feel the same way. I just go about it completely different.
I'm more like, you can come sit over there with the kids. Go sit with the kids at the kiddie table. Let adults, you've gone too far when people are starving, people are homeless, people are getting shot, people are getting bombed.
Oh, and
on and so forth.
You just call
it's
it tyranny.
Okay, kids, you've had your time. Sit the fuck down over there. Go bicker with each other.
It's one thing if there's like some sort of like self-harm brought you to where you are today, but it's like I can't let you hurt these other people.
Well, we're in a world where the adults are having the not so calm, but having conversations and talking to each other.
The adults.
And the kids are the ones with control over militaries and things like that.
You could just say resources.
Resources.
And if someone wants to know what I mean by that, then they can just ask.
And they are children. If one ever steps up, I will show you how they're a fucking child.
Why don't you just like pull the zipper up? It's just a 7-year-old. Runs away. Runs away into the darkness.
All right, here we go.
President. I'm not talking about you, my sister. I'm talking about the president.
West, look,
the president called Brother Carlin the son of a bitch.
Okay, but I
think that's a fact.
Yeah,
I
think the nasty language, it's on both sides. I mean, it's on. If they call him a gangster, a traitor. I mean, so we can play that game all night long. But
What would consist of gangster? I would describe a gangster as far as a politician and one who engages in legal wars or under the table business deals that may serve whatever regime or government or whatever have you more profit. Funding rebel groups, that way they can fight proxy war. That way you can have your country's influence on that country without even being called an imperial nation.
No.
And as well as arms deals. Arms deals that will basically, the arms deals that you make with another country or whatever have you, and then they can fund that proxy army that you want to fight for you.
No. That's called high IQ strategy.
I see.
High IQ strategy.
I'm going to give you 10 seconds to get out. No, I'm just kidding. Point is, okay, so that's why they call him a gangster. And what was the other one?
What?
You said they called him a gangster. They called him this. Play back a little.
What she said?
Play back a little.
Supremacist? White supremacist?
There's 3 things, I believe.
Are you saying what Cornell said or what she said?
Just play back a little bit so I can hear it.
Not you.
No, I'm talking about the president. I'm not talking about you, my sister. I'm talking about the president.
West, look,
the president called Brother Carlin the son of a bitch.
Okay, but I
think that's a fact.
Yeah,
I
think the nasty language, it's on both sides. I mean, it's on. If they call him a gangster, a traitor. I mean, so we can.
Oh yeah, traitor. Yeah. That goes along with the gangster thing. You don't care about people. You're betraying people. Fuck you.
Oh yeah.
So then go ahead. One more thing. Go ahead. Racist, right?
That's true.
White supremacist.
Oh, because you fucking pander to a certain demographic.
Oh yeah.
And what I mean by demographic is a group of people with a similar ideology, regardless of what part of the world you're from.
Yeah, he's not stupid. He knows what they're talking about.
No, I'm breaking it down so no idiot can go say, you know what you're talking about. Oh yeah, come up. We'll see. We'll see who's right. And that fucking psychopath smirk on the left. Fuck you.
Yeah.
So this is what I mean specifically, right? See the one in the middle? No, let's not use that nasty language. It's like, what? I can't call you a fucking gangster for what you're doing? Yeah. Fuck you. Listen. Yeah?
Yeah.
I'm busy.
You want to beat him up?
Huh? Oh, dude, I don't think Mike Tyson can fuck him up. I think you just yell at him.
Anyways, go ahead.
What?
What you're saying?
Yeah. Let's not use nasty language. No. Like, call him a gangster or even a racist. It's like, that's just mean. Oh, you want to be nice?
Well, there are people that overdo it.
It's like, get out of here. Get out.
There are people that overdo it.
You contribute nothing. See the one in the middle?
She's...
Figuratively speaking, you get a bucket of water, you pour on her, just 2 dots on a line. That's it. Nothing.
Fuck.
Nothing to offer. Let's be nice here.
That was
Fuck
the best
you.
line you've ever said.
Fuck
ever.
you.
That was perfection.
I said this before.
I didn't hear you then.
Whatever.
All right, we got 6 minutes left. Let's continue.
That's true.
But I do want to.
You got language on both
this
sides.
out.
Fucking Cheerios.
I want to get to this. The prevailing wisdom, I think Dr. West, highlighted this, is that race relations have deteriorated almost under this president. That's the thought. And that Obama was the great racial healer. Yet, in a new study by a pair of sociologists at UPenn, this is not some conservative outlet, they found that, quote, anti-black prejudice declined by a statistically insignificant degree between 2012 and 2016. But then after 2016, it took a sharp dive. There was also a general fall in anti-Hispanic prejudice, too.
How do you measure these things? Is it by, like, words people say?
Or maybe it's just like how we measure that Joe Biden's leading in the presidential...
The polls?
I want a specific word for it, but fuck it. He's leading in the polls. Joe Biden's leading the Democratic polls. Yes, that's it. My bad. Yeah, but the way we get those statistics, that way we can make a poll out of it, is we just get a bunch of old people, and the old people we talk to are this many, like that many. There we go. He's leading.
Oh yeah.
Like,
They,
yeah. Let's trust polls. Let's trust a poll. They don't show you where the fuck it comes from.
People. Yeah.
So this is ridiculous. This is why, I like Cornel West and everything. He's cool. But it's like, dude, sometimes you gotta fucking get fucking neck and just bring it,
He's a lover, not a fighter.
I'm doing it out of love.
I respect
Trust
that.
me.
I respect that. But I'm not.
I'm doing it out of love.
Look at the fucking, headline. Trump has made America less racist.
And they highlight it too. They think you're stupid.
It's Fox News.
Now, I'm not saying he's racist.
No.
I'm saying he fucking dog whistles and he panders to a fucking crowd.
Yeah, we already said that.
I'll have to say it twice because people are kind of silly and stupid. So,
Yeah, if we had more followers, hit subscribe if you like. If we had more followers, I think people are like, oh, they must be credible. I see that with a lot of channels. But yeah, let's continue.
So, Professor West, to what do you attribute these findings? So, prejudice is on the downswing, not on the upswing, at least in these first few years of Trump.
Well, based on this particular study, I'd have to examine how they gather their evidence and so forth. But anti-Jewish attacks, anti-Muslim attacks, anti-Mexican attacks, and not just anti-black attacks, but also the police departments, the militarizing of the police departments, the withdrawal of the investigations when police do, in fact, shoot fellow citizens, whatever color they are, but disproportionately chocolate,
but that was
disproportionately
happening
black
under Obama.
and brown.
Right, that was happening under Obama, like
That's
Ferguson
true.
and all
That's
that
true.
stuff, right?
See, it's like a quick defense of Trump. Not to say that, come on, man. The president's not going to have control over every police force in the fucking country. So you can't say anything about either one of the guys about that. But they could just come out instead of dog whistling or pandering to a side, both of them. Mm-hmm. Pandering to one side or favoring one side or the other. And, really, let's fucking talk about it. Let's really talk about it.
Yeah.
All right. I need a regular guy on the stage to talk to me about this. I don't need some organizer, leader, or whatever who has their motives and, let's continue.
That's
not
true.
a fact. It's not just
I'm just talking about continuities.
That's just
I'm talking about continuities.
Still the Yankees.
Right. I do want to share this. This was a moment that I think, again, going back to what Candace has worked on and spoken about, and what Dr. West, I think you two could actually be happy about together. Happened at the White House. I think it was last month, and it was an event commemorating the First Step Act. Let's watch.
And I really thank you for signing that bill. When y'all passed this, I could have fell through the floor. I'm an example of a woman who has been given a second chance in life.
And it's an experience that I never forget.
2 months ago, I was in a prison cell, and I'm in the White House. Let's continue to make America great again.
Hey, there's a group of kids in Yemen who fucking died in a bus, right? By a bomb. You guys cool with that?
Yeah.
We're gonna to make America great again, man.
If I'm the fucking president,
he's great,
and I release someone from prison, they're gonna love me, and they're gonna defend me for a long period of time. Just saying, I'd have to do something real crazy to.
If he released me from prison, yeah, he'll support me. Hey, I also did a lot of reading in prison, a lot of studying too. Fuck you for those illegal wars. They'll just take the mic away from me.
Yeah,
but I'll get mine.
How about the war on drugs? We do something about that.
Oh yeah, that's anything to contribute to why there's a massive amounts of incarcerations. No, let's not talk about that. Let's not talk about the war on drugs, the fucking prison industrial complex. No. Why? Candace? Oh, where'd she go? Oh, she ran away. She ran away a long time ago.
All right, here we go.
Now, Dr. West, I mean, I don't think they were feeling xenophobia or mean-spiritedness. I think they actually
Fake
had
smile.
a president
Fake
who
smile.
was willing to work with
creepy, man.
people who really didn't even like him and didn't think he was probably going to accomplish much. And it got almost no coverage. I think we played it on our show, maybe a few other places, but it didn't get any coverage. What's your reaction to seeing that?
No, I think that's a very important attempt to zero in on this vicious policy in the last 40 years of mass incarceration, punitive attitudes toward those engaged in various kinds of crimes. I've been blessed to teach in prisons for 37 years. The Raw Way to Step program of just in Norfolk. It's something that has an impact on the ground, and I'd give the president credit for that. It's not as if he has nothing to offer. It's just that the dominant orientation is still tied to what I'm critical of both parties, because identity politics for me is milquetoast neoliberal politics that don't talk about corporate power, don't talk about poverty, don't talk about militarism. But the Republicans still strike me as so cold-hearted, mean-spirited, and they're still tied to corporate power and Wall Street and won't hit poverty head on. But when it comes to prison,
you gotta be more specific than that, because you're gonna leave them room to go. Actually,
nah, he's educating them right now.
I want
their
him,
level of thinking, he's educating them.
I want him
there.
to be very specific. If he says Republicans, like what do you mean by Republicans? You know, that's all.
Wow.
That's all. I I know this guy can do it. He could do it better than me. But as an observer, you know, it's like, oh, you could just fucking absolutely flat out give them no room.
To me, it looked like Candace Owens' face got weary a little bit. She's like, when he brought up these same Republicans are also taking corporate money. And blah, blah, blah.
I would call them neocons.
Yeah.
Then they're not Republicans.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about with this.
That's all I mean. That's all I mean.
Yeah.
You know.
All right, here we go.
When it comes to statistics, I give the president credit for that, but it's still small relative to what I'm looking for. I see it in neither both parties other than Brother Bernie Sanders, but that's another dialogue, as you know.
Bernie Sanders.
That's all your response to. Bernie Sanders.
It's like, hey, why the fuck? Hey, why are you laughing? Why'd you look over there?
No. Why are you automatically on a team to give that response?
Yeah.
That's called team playing.
It's like, have you read his policies? There's a website. Oh, is there any way could this benefit people, if not more, than what we have right now?
Yeah. That's like a progressive Democrat, and they hear the name Ron Paul, and they're just like, Republican? They go through the circuitry of their brain. Republican? No.
It's like
Ron Paul.
This means that this person doesn't care about anybody. And they're going to do whatever they can to make sure their team wins, even if that other team, or I wouldn't call it a team, but this other person, or whatever have you, has better ideas presented to the table, and it can help so much more people. Or even if it's the solution. They don't care.
This is how she makes her money. Thus the term psychopathic. I mean...
Oh, yeah.
She has to be against the Democrats no matter fucking what. Unless the tide turns, then you'll see her switch up real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Go into that right now.
No, we won't go to that. But I have to go back to this idea of race relations under Obama.
Nothing to respond with. Just
I
say
almost
his
fell
name
out of my chair in the CNN story that came out in October of 2016. They got worse. 54% of Americans said they got worse. Only 16% said they got better.
Where the fuck are you
this was at
getting
the
this
end
from?
of the Obama administration. So
What does that say? CNN ORC International poll, September 28th to October 2nd, 2016.
1,300 voters.
We can measure it.
Yeah. It says nothing about
Nothing.
life.
Keep playing. Keep playing.
15% said they got better. This was at the end of the Obama administration. So as Cornel West said, you had Ferguson, you had Freddie Gray in Baltimore, you had all this stuff bursting out on the streets of America with the first African-American president in the White House, and that healing didn't seem to take place.
You ever think that was a problem of, authority versus poor people?
Yeah.
Or conditioned people striking back against some sort of idea of, the uniform and the badge and shit. Like, they're the bad guys.
Mm-hmm.
That type of conditioning. You ever think that was the case?
Yeah.
So just defining those as race relations might not say much. Like, oh, this guy's poor, he's more likely to steal.
Mm.
Thus, we profile these types of people in this area. And then I'm a cop, I need, show my authority here, just like that video we watched.
Yeah.
I need to show my authority. Sit down, sir. It's like, no. Yeah, so whole mixed bag of thing, because we're dealing with human beings here. It's not automatic. Cop see black, cop shoots. Or black sees cop, black don't like. Like, it's a whole spectrum of different types of people, man.
Mm-hmm.
But, that answer right there would be hated on by everyone as a collective. You're not on a team? Fuck you, man.
Remember, it's like, hey, you guys are leftists. It's like, no.
They only hear
Yes,
one
you
side
are.
of the story. All right, let's continue.
Right. Look, at that point, I was on the left. So when Barack Obama first went into office, I was
on the
liberal, and I
left.
changed my mind.
No,
to
you
do
weren't.
exactly what you're saying. He drove this nation apart.
He
Whoa, I want to hear
this
that
nation
again.
apart.
I want to
He
hear
did.
that again.
You
She was
can't
on the left.
Yeah.
No, she was on the which one has the easiest opportunity.
Can't make that any louder.
No.
What if you talk nice to it?
Didn't seem to take place.
Right. Look, at that point, I was on the left. So when Barack Obama first went into office, I was a liberal, and I changed my mind due to exactly what you're saying. He drove this nation apart. President Trump is bringing this nation together because...
The fuck?
That,
What?
None of that makes any sense.
No.
What? Does she mean?
To me, they're... Go ahead.
Does she mean Obama pandered to black people to get support and votes and to hold up a legacy? Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't see much,
Oh, that's gone.
Yeah. Maybe you could say that. I don't know.
Because what he is talking about is patriotism. Patriotism knows no sex, it knows no color, it knows no creed. The liberal media can ignore all the work that he's doing in black America all they want. Every statistic in the world shows you right now that black support for Donald Trump has doubled. And that is meaningful. And I'm telling you that by 2020, he is going to be the first president to crack the black vote to the detriment of the Democrats.
Hey,
That's fucking bullshit.
Dude, this
That
is
is bullshit
creepy.
for sure.
It's creepy, man.
She's she's campaigning for him. She sounds like a campaign
Yeah.
chairperson.
Keep going.
Bernie or Tulsi Gabbard would wreck Trump in the election.
I'd love to hear.
Elizabeth
I'd love
Warren
to
might
hear.
wreck him.
I'd love to
but
hear
I
either
don't know.
one of them have a discussion with Candace.
He's like, what's wrong with you?
Yeah.
Like, because those guys seen the backdoor deals and all that shit. So
Yeah.
they know when they're looking at, like, who pays you? They could probably see that from the jump.
Yeah. Oh. They pay you enough, but you'll do it anyway, right?
I don't know about that. She might do it anyways because she's looking at a future paycheck.
Think like this. Even if she's not getting paid that much, the amount of exposure she's getting is very.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Like you'll do it anyway, man.
Thanks, Kanye.
Oh, Kanye.
I don't blame Kanye. He's just being himself.
It looks like he got used. So.
I said it when we watched that TMZ video.
Yeah.
I'm like, there's Kanye and his handler, Candace Owens. I didn't know know much about her then, but I was like,
Let's just say, like, I'm not saying this just because, oh, yeah, it creeps me up now. It's like, no. First time I saw her, I was like, her like speaking and shit, I'm like, why do you?
Yeah. I was like,
Why do you
something's off.
seem off? You know. Why do you
Something's
seem
off
like
here.
the same like corporate fucking talking head that I'm used to?
Like, why does it seem like if there was no moderator there and it was just you and Cornel West having a conversation?
You're right. You get wrecked.
You'd
If
be
it,
like,
if it was like a 2-hour
well, I didn't know that.
podcast,
Yeah.
then it's like, well, I didn't know that. It's like, kill. Go for the kill. Go for the kill.
Listen, my sister. All right, let's continue.
You could take the blue pill.
Professor
or the black
West,
pill.
I want to. Do you still do work in prisons? Do you still do it?
Absolutely.
Can I come with you? Can I come with you on one of your?
You can come
one of your
anytime
visits?
you like. We're going to keep track of the humanity and rich imagination and intelligence of our brothers and sisters who are incarcerated to make sure they have a better chance to keep and make sure that they can unleash their potential. But I say to Sister Candace that I like her independence of mind. I think she's
going off the
wrong
screen,
most
though.
of the
Get in the
time. I
box.
fight for her right to be wrong in that regard. But I
I'll fight for
would
your right
wish
to be
that she
wrong
would
too,
have moved.
Mr. West.
You cannot be in a room with Cornel. Like, in a real discussion, you would, it's like, you have no business being there.
No.
In order to have, like, a real intelligent conversation, it would not be fair for Cornel West to be talking to
Force that
Candace
smile.
Owens. It's like,
Force that smile, you know?
and I'll fight for your right to be wrong. It's like, no.
No. And I'll fight for your right to be wrong.
This dude will lay out a whole labyrinth of ideas Candace has never even heard of before, where you can't just jump back to talking points and rely on those. He's being nice. He's being very nice. Let's continue.
Absolutely, but I would have wished that you would have moved further to the left, because when you have a Black Lives Movement under a black
Big left.
president, it's not going to be a matter of then moving to the
Mr.
right
West,
where they have
socialism
been
has
using.
already, socialism has
What?
already
Well,
been tried in our community. It's been tried
go
via
back.
welfare policies.
Right there.
But under a black president, it's not going to be a matter of then moving to the
Mr.
right
West,
where they have been using.
socialism has already been tried in our community. It's been tried via welfare policies, and it has completely crippled the black community. It has completely
That's
crippled.
not.
It's bullshit. A ton of fucking bullshit. And you can see him going like, what the fuck? But he's too nice.
Yeah.
He's too nice, man. That's the problem here. It's like, you got 5 minutes at least of talking time. You better fucking go for the kill. Fuck. But, you know,
Black family.
I'm not saying be mean, but, you know, like, okay, you know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Okay? Socialism. Tell me what socialism is. Tell me what socialism is. Go ahead. Oh, it's not it.
That'll never work on TV. Not in that way, because you got a moderator who will interrupt you because
No.
she's on the team
All
as
you gotta
well.
do is this. Hey, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to her. You're here to be quiet. I'm talking to you.
You'll be called a misogynist.
Oh,
who's
fucking.
trying to
I
shut
don't
down
need-
the
I
free
don't-
speech of women.
I don't need Cheerios to fucking tell me something. I'm asking her, man. Fucking bland, nothing to it.
Fuck.
Fucking tastes shitty.
All right. Let's hear Cornell respond with this. That
every
is not
time-
that is not socialism.
Every time I see these guys, they have a chance to fucking make some sort of statement. They're too nice. They're too nice.
Yeah.
And the people that actually have some sort of fucking, they don't. It's like you don't have the fucking tools to do it. When I see Ben Affleck on Bill Maher and Sam Harris across from him, and you could see it. It's like, oh, I can see some sort of moral. I intuitively see like there's some sort of moral obligation for you to go like, what the fuck? What are you doing?
Yeah.
If you don't have the tools, you don't have the tools like a Norman Finkelstein would or a Ryan Dawson that could just spurt out information, or James Corbett, you know. No, and the guys that do, or that could possibly do, I mean, that could possibly have those tools. They do. I don't see it being used. It's like, dude, you took the back. You know, they rolled over full mount. Time for elbows.
Yeah. I hear you. All right.
Via the welfare
my dear
policies,
sister.
you know that. So I had to creep all
That's
the
not
way to the right. And I have to tell
Socialism
you,
is
I'm happy
power
here.
sharing. Socialism
you know
is not
this is a fact.
giving
Black
and
liberals
becoming
go
people
conservative.
dependent
Black
on
conservatives
programs.
never
It's
go
power
liberal.
sharing.
Mr. West, I appreciate your time, but you know black liberals go conservative, but black conservatives never go liberal, and there's a reason for that.
And I would,
on the side of
I would.
She's using catchphrases. I don't know.
We'll do more videos on her.
That was a catchphrase, I think.
I'm gonna focus more on this person, like way more than ever before.
Prepare for memes.
Just add that Wall
I don't know.
Street.
Black people are complicated.
Yeah.
Black people are complicated. We
We're
go
not
back
that
and forth, but I wish we had more black leftists.
All right, guys, we got to go. This is a fascinating conversation. We have to have you both back. Thank you very much,
Bye,
both
sir.
of you, for being here.
Shut up.
Oh, shit. No copyrights.
Oh.
Alright, that's it.
Yep, that's it. Another fucking psychopath. Great.
Just so you guys know, I lean more in the realm of philosophy, psychology, metaphysics, in my own language. I'm not an academic. When it comes to politics, foreign policy, number one. And I sort of got a mixture of things here. Because I consider when foreign policy is not brought up, when you're judging how good or bad a president is, it's just as bad as someone saying, we need to go to Iraq and blow it up. I consider those the same thing. Ignoring it or horrible foreign policy.
Yeah.
And I sort of got a mixture of things here. I got someone like, what's up with your psyche? Candace Owens. Anyone home? Any lights on in there? But that's it from us. Please subscribe if you like. Always comment. Agree, disagree. Let us know in the comment section. We do video requests. If it's legitimate, if it's a joke, then fuck you. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Donate to Devon's Journey to Recovery. Link down there in the description box, a GoFundMe link for Devon's Journey to Recovery. That's helping out one of our subscribers who had medical issues, and this country doesn't have free healthcare, so we should probably help each other out somehow. So please donate. Devon's Journey to Recovery. Link down there. And with all that said, give this video a thumbs down.
Say you wanna get in, and then you wanna get out. When you get the money to buy yourself a car, so how will you wear your...
Sorry, Misty. I said Misty. Frosty. Sorry twice. I said your name wrong, and we're leaving. But remember, give this video a thumbs down because of the lack of content you just received.
Say you wanna get in.